Hi, boys and girls. We're going to take out the packet that we started with Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm going to have you flip to the page behind it that says George Washington. George Washington was born in 1732 in Virginia. He lived on a large plantation. When he was 11, his father died. His older brother cared for George and made sure he was educated. When George was 16, he worked as a surveyor and later with the Virginia militia. He served during the French and Indian War. After the war, he married Martha and was elected to the Virginia legislature. During this time, George became upset with the unfair treatment by their British rulers. He fought alongside the colonists in the American Revolutionary War against the British. He led the Continental Army to several victories and finally won the war. His leadership during the war led to his victory as the first president of the United States. He has been the only president to have all of the state representatives vote for him. During his presidency, he helped form the Constitution and set up the government as it is today. Highlight the text to prove your answers. Underline. Who was the passage about? Who was the passage about? We see that who question again, that sometimes when we're reading, remember, we ask those questions. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Who was the passage about? You're going to underline. And I underlined George Washington. Number 2, circle. What 2 wars did George Washington fight in? So let's go back in the passage and put a circle around the 2 wars that he served in. And you really have to go back and read because it's in 2 separate parts of the passage. And I selected the French and Indian War and the American Revolutionary War. And they both kind of went on to the next line. Number 3, box. Put a box around 3 facts about George's life. 3 things that you learned about George Washington. There is a lot of information. So we all could pick some different facts about George Washington. They gave us a lot of different facts in this passage. So you may pick something that I did not pick. But the 3 facts that I chose were he was born in 1743 in Virginia, that when he was 11 his father died, when he was 16 he worked as a surveyor. So you may have chose some other facts about his life. Again, that's fine. Go ahead, you could share with somebody at home or with somebody in class. On the back, make a list of 10 laws you think all people should follow. So you want to flip this paper over, and in the beginning of the year, we talked about rules and laws. What are 10 laws that you think people should follow? Do you think it's important to wear a seatbelt? Do you think it's important to stop at red lights? Do you think it's important not to steal? If you could come up with 10 laws, what would the 10 laws be? Let's write them on the back of your paper, and you can share that with someone at home or in your class.